What's going on with Johnny Powell?
Hello, friends. It's Johnny Powell. I don't know how many of you guys saw my post from, I guess, about a week, about Monday of this week or so. But I had a little accident up in the Tennessee mountains on my Scrambler 400X. In the post, I mentioned, that I've had 2 surgeries on my shoulder. I'll go into that in a minute. And I talked about the crash as I remembered it. But the other day, I actually got the nerve to look at my GoPro footage from the actual wreck. And I was kind of surprised. For one thing, it doesn't look like as violent of a crash as I kind of thought is what happened. And also, I wasn't going as fast as I thought I was going. It looks like on the Speedo says about 25. Now I've learned by doing some GPS comparisons that Speedo is fast. So like if the Speedo says 50, I'm only going 45. So I feel like I was probably going, somewhere between 20 and 25 miles an hour. So like 22 miles an hour, maybe, let's say. So what it looks like is I crest this hill and there's some washouts. Didn't look all that rough, and it's hard to really tell what happened, but it appears that the front end of the bike just sort of washed away. And I don't know if I overmodulated the front brake, maybe locked it up. I did have off-road mode turned on, which turned off ABS. Retrospect, that was kind of dumb, I guess. But it just looks like the front end washes away, and I kind of fall over. But then when I hit the ground on my shoulder, I'm screaming like my head's being cut off. It's just it seems to me that it was just a strange way that I hit the ground that caused all these problems. I've had a few incidents where the bike's washed away on me, once in Wyoming on the BDR, that's on film, on some routes. And one time on the DR doing the Smoky Mountain 500, went around an off-camber gravel corner and the bike just slid out. But both of those times and any other time, I just get up, dust myself off, pick up the bike and go. But this time it's just weird. The way I landed with my shoulder just like full force down on kind of the rock ledges, kind of the surface of the road. It's just a bad landing. Anyway, that's obviously screwed up a lot of my summer plans, I think. Well, for one, I'm waiting to get into actual physical therapy. I've just been doing little motions that my surgeon wanted me to do, just to try to keep my shoulder limber and everything. Pain-wise, I'm actually not in a ton of pain. It's just very uncomfortable, sore. My range of motion is very limited. My muscles are very tight, and it's very weak. But I've actually stopped wearing the sling because I'm not feeling any benefit from the sling. Maybe some of that's because of the surgeries I had done. So I had 2 surgeries. One was the repair of my shoulder blade, which was shattered, and I have stainless steel stainless steel strips and screws kind of holding my shoulder all back together and that shoulder blade back together. When the doctors were doing that surgery is when they noticed that the ligaments that hold my clavicle down to my shoulder blade were separated. So I had a second surgery to do ligament reinforcement. And I've been home now a week and just kind of doing what I can. Most of my upcoming, cycling, camping, or motorcycling kind of ideas are out the window until I'm better. I'm still hopefully going to be able to go to Italy this summer to ride the Dolomites on the BMW GS, but I actually talked to the organizer and let them know that there is a chance that maybe I'm out of that. Good friend of mine, Morgan, thank you very much, Morgan, for your help. He went up and retrieved my bike. Got the scrambler. It's over at his house. I asked him what the damage was looking like. He said one of the plastic hand guards broken off, obviously, and the shift lever the shift lever tip got bent. He said he's going to weld on a foldable one for me, which is very nice of him. And then other than that, he said there's a couple of scratches on the left side engine case, which is unfortunate, because he says other than that, the bike still looks brand new. So won't be very expensive to get fixed. I've actually got other hand guards that I probably should have put on before even doing that ride, but I didn't. Anyway, the only thing I'm going to say last about the whole crash and that ride I was doing is that I should have trusted my instincts. That whole weekend, which ended up being going from a weekend to just a one overnight, that whole trip, I just didn't feel right. I was concerned about, I was running out of time, I was in a rush. I was finding that some of the roads just weren't that fun that I ended up riding on. It was mostly pavement I was doing. And then when I got to that section right there by Ocoee Whitewater, I was making up my mind whether I was even going to do that or if I was going to stay strictly on pavement and head back home. And I decided, I was just telling myself, it doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. I was by myself. I didn't really know how well those tires on that Triumph were going to handle. But I decided to just get in there and try things out. And I only got 5 miles into that, Forest Service Road area right there. If you're familiar with the 500, it's the section right after Ocoee Whitewater where you cross the bridge and you go behind the TVA power generation building. And back in there is, first it's called Big Frog Wilderness and then it's called Cohutta. I was not yet to the Cohutta section, I was just in the Big Frog section. But yeah, really sucks. But I'm gonna try to get healed up. My top concern more than riding motorcycles is actually to get my guitar playing back, and then everyday use of my arm and my hand. My hand's fine, but it's just the arm motion that I don't have back yet. So it's going to be a tough summer. Like I said, if things go well enough, maybe I'll make it to my big trip. Maybe I'll make it to Mid-Ohio in July. But I feel like April and May are kind of done for me. It's just going to be rehab. Anyway, be careful, trust your instincts, ride safe. I'll talk to you later.